one of my most important routines is my morning routine. Not just because it's how I start the day, but because it's also a rhythm that helps me kind of jumpstart all of the actions that are going to happen throughout the day. So for my mornings, I always start my mornings with water. It's the first thing I consume, 500 milliliters of water. I do that for biological reasons. It hydrates the system. It immediately is absorbed through the upper intestine and through the stomach. It resolves things like dry mouth and swollen orifices in the mouth. So water is extremely beneficial. Immediately after following my 500 milliliters of water, I also go into something that I call getting quiet, which many people call meditation, some people call reflection or mindfulness. But what CIA taught us to do is that when you are in that meditative state, what we call getting quiet, you are reducing sensory inputs from all around you. And you have five senses. So to remove yourself from sensory inputs means you have to remove yourself from all five senses. Find a quiet place, yes, but also find a dark place that doesn't have too many lights. Find a place with a neutral smell. Make sure that you don't have anything on your palate that's particularly tasty or otherwise. And then, of course, you want to be in a place where you don't have a lot of sensory skin-based inputs. So you don't want to be cold, you don't want to be hot, you don't want to be carrying something heavy, you don't want to be wearing heavy clothes, you don't want to be wearing fuzzy slippers. Because all of those sensory inputs are what go into your brain and pull on mental resources. So essentially, if you can wake up and sit on what I do is I wake up, my water's sitting next to my bed, I drink it relatively quickly. I wouldn't call it pounding it, but I do drink it relatively quickly. And then right there, I'll just sit on the edge of my bed and I'll take my between 2 and 5 minutes to just be quiet. All that's on my tongue is water. The light is still low in the room. Everybody else is still sleeping. It's still quiet. I haven't eaten anything. There's no strong smells in my neutral room that I haven't been smelling all night anyways, right? And I'm wearing the same pajamas I've been wearing to bed. So it's a great opportunity to reduce the amount of sensations, sensory inputs, and just give your brain an opportunity to do what we call indexing. When you sleep, your brain is actually quite active. And it's in that moment that you wake up that you have an opportunity to index your unconscious thoughts over the course of the night with the conscious thoughts that you're about to have throughout the day. And that indexing period of time is incredibly valuable for innovation, for creative thinking, for memory retention, and for other cognitive benefits. So that morning routine of drinking water, meditating, and then actually after that is when I have my first bit of consumption. And what I'll eat is some sort of natural whole food source that is high in fiber and also high in natural sugars. Strawberries, apples, berries, peaches, that kind of thing. Because again, it's both biologically and cognitively beneficial. It gives me energy in the form of simple sugars, but it also brings fiber into my system, which I need to jumpstart my system for the rest of the day. So that morning routine is critical to me, and it's something that I don't vary on. In addition to that, I also have aerobic exercise. I don't ever bypass aerobic exercise. I'll do that a minimum of 4 times a week because blood flow leads to physical healing as well as cognitive retention. So the actual process of just having blood circulate through your system is exceptionally beneficial, and you only get that when you have a strong heart rate, and heart rate is easiest to maximize during cardiovascular fitness. And then the other thing I'll say is I really do stay away from processed foods because the body just does better with true macronutrients rather than processed ingredients that it has a harder time breaking down. Those were all things that were taught to me at CIA. They were all tools that were given to us because there's a practical element too. You just can't find the same processed foods in the Middle East that you find in Latin America. And you can't find your way to the same kind of coffee in the United States as you have in Europe. So water can be filtered and be the same pretty much everywhere. Aerobic exercise is the same anywhere. Whole food sources based on macronutrients are the same everywhere.